Hi, welcome to my channel pibyme Maths. This is WST01. Here we are solving January 2019 Statistics 1 paper. Let's look at question number 1. The Venn diagram shows the probability of a randomly selected students from a school being in the sets L, B, C. L represents the music lesson, B school band, C school choir. P, Q, R, S are probabilities. Okay. Question A, I put the diagram here again. Select a pair of mutually exclusive. You have to look for two circles without intersection. So B and C has no intersection. So you can just simply write B and C. Just one more question. Question B, I put the figure here again. Given that P of L is this, P of B is this, P of C is this, and the even L and C are independent. If L and C are independent, this is the formula for independent even. L intersection C should be P of L times P of C. L intersection C is P. P of L is 0.3, 0.4, P of C is 0.3. You'll get P as 0.12. That's just another 2 more question. Let's move on to part 3. Part C. Find the value of Q, R, S now. Okay, we know the value of P already, 0.12, and we know P of L is equal to 0.4, right? It's given here, 0.4, right? So I add everything inside L. 0.13 plus Q plus P is 0.4. So Q is 0.4 minus 0.2515, and then P of C is given as 0.3, right? So P of C is 0.3. Add everything inside C. P plus R is 0.3, so R is 0.3 minus 0.1 to 0.18. And then sum of all the probabilities should be equal to 1, right? So add everything. This plus P plus Q plus R plus S is equal to 1. So 0.13 plus Q plus P plus R plus S is 1. So S is going to be 1 minus of this. 0.28, 0.4, 0.58. 1 minus 0.58 is 0.42. That's all. It's another 3 more question. Part D now. A student is selected at random from those who play in the school band or sing in the school choir. So band is B, school choir is C. A student is selected from B or C. That's B union C. That's a condition. Find the probability that the student has music lesson. L. That's a conditional probability. Use the formula for conditional probability. P of A given B is P of A intersection B divided by P of B. Sorry, B union, because B intersection is 0, right? Or means B union. Okay. B union C is, this is B. These two are mutually exclusive. So this is B union C. You need to share the whole B and C. So the part shaded in this diagram is B union C. Now this is B union C. Which part of L is this whole thing? So which part of L is intersecting with the yellow region? P and this, right? So it's P plus 0.13 divided by B union C. B union C is all the yellow one. So 0.13 plus P plus R. P we know 0.12. So 0.12 plus 0.13 divided by 0.13 plus 0.12 plus R is, the value of R is 0.18. So it's basically 0.25 over 0.43. 25 over 43 is the answer. That's all. It's another 3 more question. Number 2 now. The discrete random variable x has the following distributions. Find E of x. Okay, the formula to find E of x is sigma x times P of x. So take x, multiply by P of x and sum up. Minus 2 times 0.15 minus 1 times A, 0 times B, 1 times A, 3 times 0.4. Minus A plus A can be cancelled. So you are going to get minus 2 times 0.15 plus 3 times 0.4. 0.9 is the answer. Just a 2-mark question. Let's move on to part B of the question. E of x CAIE is given, find A and B. Okay, I'm gonna put the table here again. I have put the table here just for the reference. How do we find E of x CAIE? We square x and then multiply by the probability. So E of x CAIE is going to be 4 times 0.15 plus A plus 0 plus A. 3 square is 9 times 0.4. But this value is given as 4.54. So you get the value of A from this. So let's calculate this. 4 times 0.15, that's basically 0.6, plus A is 2A, plus 9 times 0.4 is 3.6 is 4.54. So 4.54 minus 3.6 minus 0.6 is 0.34. So when you divide by 2, you get the value of A. So A is 0.17. That's all. That's a 5-mark question. Okay, we need to find the value of B also. Okay, how do we find the value of B? We know sum of all the probabilities will be equal to 1, right? So write sigma P of x is equal to 1. So when you add 0.15 plus A plus B plus A plus 0.4 is 1. B is 0.15 plus 2A. 2 times the value of A is 0.17 plus 0.4. And subtract from 1, 0.11 is the answer, the value of B. That's all. It's a 5-mark question. Part C now. The variable y is equal to this. Find variance of y. Let's find variance of, okay, let's write the formula. Variance of y is 3 minus 2x. We know the formula for variance of a plus bx. The formula is, or ax plus b, it's a square variance of x. You can ignore the constant b, the number standing all alone. In this case, that's 3. You can ignore 3. So it's going to be minus 2 whole square variance of x, which is 4 times e of x square minus e of x whole square. We just calculated e of x square here. No, it's given as 4.54. 4.54 minus e of x is 0.9, right, from part A, 0.9 square. So you get 4 times 4.54 minus 0.9 square, 14.92. That's the answer. That's all. Let's move on to question number 3. This is from normal distribution now. The weights of women boxers in a tournament are normally distributed with mean 64, standard deviation 8. So the weight, we write it as it follows: mu comma sigma square. Part A now. Find the probability that a randomly chosen woman boxer in the tournament weighs less than 51. They want you to find P of W is less than 51. Standardize it. Z is less than x minus mu over sigma, right? That's coding, right? Which is 51 minus 64 over 8. P of z is less than minus 1.625. I'm going to round it to 2 decimal place because the table values, if you look at the table, all the z values are in 2 decimal place. So the area on the left hand side of a negative number is same as 1 minus P of z is less than a positive number. So 1.63 is in here, 9484. So the answer is 1 minus 0.9484, which is 0.0516. That's the answer. Let's look at part B of the question. In a tournament, women boxers who weigh less than 51 are classified as lightweight. Okay, let's plot this bell curve first. Draw the bell curve. We know mean is given here as 64. Okay, the question says anyone who weighs less than 51 kilogram, the people in this category are called lightweight boxers. Okay, now Ren weighs 49 kilogram. Ren weighs 49 kilogram. So Ren is in here, 49 kilogram, right? She has a match against another randomly selected lightweight woman boxer. So she has a match against these people. That's a condition. She has a match against a boxer who weighs less than 51 kilogram. That's a condition. Find the probability Ren weighs less than the other boxer. That means the other boxer must come from here, right? Then only Ren weighs less than the other boxer, because Ren weighs 49 kilogram, right? So it has to be W greater than 49. They want you to find this conditional probability. So the intersection of these two is 49 to 51 divided by P of W is less than 51. Let's look at part A. We calculated less than 51 here already, right? 0.0516. First of all, on top you split it. P of W is less than 51 minus P of W is less than 49 over P of W is less than 51. It is equal to, the probability of W is less than 51 is from part A 0.0516. So 0.0516 minus, standardize this, Z is less than 49 minus mu over sigma, 64 over 8 divided by 0.0516. Let's calculate this actually. 49 minus 64 over 8 is minus 1.875. When I round it to two decimal place, it's basically 0.516 minus P of Z is less than minus 1.88 divided by 0.0516. Okay, I'm going to calculate minus Z is less than minus 0.18 separately here. P of Z is less than minus 1.88 is same as 1 minus P of Z is less than positive 1.88, right? So let's take the table value for 1.88. It's in here, 9699. So 1 minus 9699 is 0.0301. Sub in the value here and calculate the probability. So So it's going to be 0.0516 minus 0.0301 over 0.0516. 416. So the answer is 0.4166 dot dot dot. If you can round it to 3 significant figure, 417. That's all. Let's look at part C of the question. It's a 3-mark question. In the tournament, women boxers who weigh more than 8 kilogram are classified as heavyweight. Okay. We have a mean here, which is 64 kilogram. The heavyweight boxers, there are 10% of them. That means the 10% will be here, right? This is 10%, or the area is 0.10, right? This is H. Find the value of H. So you can write P of W is greater than H is 0.10. Standardize this. H minus 64 over 8 is 0.1. Use the small table to find the value corresponding to 0.1. 1.2816. 1.2816 is H minus 64 over 8. Make H as a subchain. 1.2816 times 8 plus 64. 74.2528. 74.2528. So H is equal to 74.3 kilogram. That's all.